This evening, we'd like to share a moment with you. A while back, we left this room, left the buildings of this university, and went to find others. They could be people who we've never spoken to before, or people who we talk to every day, but whose lives we don't really know. We talk to them, ask them questions, listen to them. Now, we share their words with you. We don't have a script for this moment. There is no set order. Instead, we will create it in real time, using the words of these others. Now, I'm going to set my phone's timer for 1 hour. At the end of an hour, we'll stop. Thank you.
I'm 65 years old, and I was born in St. Louis, Missouri. And technically, I left Missouri after I finished college. I was teaching high school singing for 3 years. And actually, my first job was at my old high school. And honestly, that was a little bit weird. I mean, it was weird to see my old teachers in the teacher's lounge. I was like, no, I know you guys in a different way. This is weird. So yeah, I sort of avoided the teacher's lounge. But then I think it was my third year of teaching that I was pregnant with our first kid. And so we had to leave in Lufton that fall because my daughter was born in November. And it's interesting because I had 3 kids in 4 years, so I didn't sing a lot during that period. And it was really afterwards, when we moved back to Chicago, that I really started my singing career. And that was where I really found, that was what I wanted, really. I really like the pressure, actually, of being on stage and doing your best at every moment. I also appreciated the camaraderie with the other artists, even if I didn't spend a lot of time with them. But most of all, it was really good to be able to travel, get away a little bit from my family, from my kids, to be independent. Because when my kids were little, I was a stay-at-home mom, and when I was with them, it was all-consuming, That was my identity. I was your classic Kool-Aid mom, with kids playing in the basement, and I did birthday parties, PTA, all the mom stuff. So when I could leave, it was nice to... I remember I'd be backing out of the driveway and watch the garage door coming down. And when that hit the ground, I was like, yes, I'm out of here. And then let's see, I met my current spouse in 2000. We were in the New York City Opera together. We were singing in Porgy and Bess. And at that point in my life, I had separated from my husband. So when I got to New York, I said, all right, I'm going to try to have fun and meet new people. Because until then, my whole life had been kids. Either the kids I was teaching or my own kids. And so we met, and it's funny because I really wasn't anticipating, I wasn't planning to come out at that age, that moment of my life. It's like, oh, okay. You know, it was like knowing your favorite pair of jeans or a nice warm coat. It felt right. And yeah, we've been together ever since. And then my son passed away in 2006. He was living off campus at the University of Maryland, the basement of an apartment, and basement caught fire, and my son, he passed in that fire. Yeah, it was pretty grim. It was the night, the evening right before our classes were supposed to start. It was a Tuesday, January 24th, 2006, and classes were supposed to start the next day, the Wednesday. Yeah, he was a DJ for the campus radio show, and he loved hip-hop and stuff like that, and he was always going into the city, into Washington, D.C., and it's funny because I remember I was always worried that something would happen to him when he was in the city. So it was weird to learn that. Yeah, it was rough. Losing a kid is no joke. I don't know how, but somehow I managed to stumble my way through that spring semester. I was teaching singing at Westminster Choir College in Princeton then. But after that spring semester, I decided to take a year off from teaching. And you know, everybody said to me, they said, yes, good thing, it's exactly what you should be doing. And I was like, is it really that crazy to keep teaching? And they said, yes. But you know, you do what you have to do, and my other kids needed me, and we had to keep living. But my son's at the cemetery here in Princeton. Go check in on him every few days. And now my two surviving kids are grown-ups. It's weird that I have old kids. There's one who lives in Seattle, the other one in North Carolina. And then my wife is a lot younger than I am, and she wanted to adopt kids, so we adopted two kids. Their names are Olivia and Jenna. They're 7 and 9 years old. And that has been a real blessing because our family, sort of like we were this wheel, you know, and we lost one of our spokes and we tried to keep going like before, but it wasn't right, you know. And at that point, my family was a little bit scattered all over the place. You know, my daughter, she was working in Japan for several years, and my husband actually came out too, so he had his life with his husband, and but we all came together again, thanks to these two babies. So Olivia came in December of 2009, and my daughter came back from Japan. She set herself up in our attic, and anyway, when the first baby came, she said to me, she said, Mom, does it bother you? I told Dad that you adopted this baby and he really wants to come meet her. And I said, I don't care, it's a baby. Everyone wants to see the baby. So, but once they came and they saw this baby, that was that. You know, ever since we've been together, we've been a family. Everything we do together. It's like this crazy troop of us for big family events and holidays. And now I sort of feel like our wheels, it's like we've added some wheels to our bus. We're like, before we were a car, and now we're a bus. Hello, my name is Rita. I work at the Office of Information Technology at Princeton University. I'm from the west of Connecticut. I'm 81 years old. No, we tried to have kids and tried to have kids, but I thought the problem was just me. And I followed instructions from my doctor, and, you think that tons of orange juice will help, or, you can take your temperature, or you can lie with your legs in the air after sexual activity, or lots of things. And we kept trying, and we kept trying. My husband had malaria when he was in the Army, so it's possible that that was part of why we couldn't have kids. But my mother was someone who always thought the worst in her children. And she thought that I just didn't want children. And she thought that I didn't want to have children just to contradict her. And before he died, my husband told her that essentially it was his fault that we couldn't have kids. And Marty didn't want to adopt because he said that he didn't think he would be able to give the type of love to a child. He didn't think he would be able to give the type of love that he would give to a child of his own blood. And I respected the honesty, and who knows? Perhaps I've done more good for the kids whose paths I've crossed.
My grandchildren. My 4 grandchildren. I love them. I really can't tell you enough. And I always kind of wanted to be involved in their lives, I didn't want to be the sort of absent grandfather, because I know that, yes, they have their parents, but it's important to have people in your life, family, older people, to help guide you, right? I experienced that, right? When I was a kid, my parents, they were fantastic, fantastic people. Always there for me. Fun people. But, I honestly didn't get to know them that well, because by the time I was 10, they sent me from Cuba, where I grew up with them, to Spain. They thought that it might lead to more opportunities for me. It was at the time when a lot of people were doing this, a lot of people in Cuba were sending their kids abroad, and so they did the same. It wasn't that hard for me, really. Exciting, even. I understood the language, that helps, right? Sure, a word here or there is different, but Spanish is Spanish, right? It's kind of the same everywhere, right? You can get by. And it gave me a love of words, a sense that words could fill a life. I like to play with words. I like to think that I can mold them and see things behind them, things that maybe you don't see at first. For instance, do you know what this is in Spanish? Well, mustache, obviously, right? But those who speak Spanish also know that there's another word for it, bigote. Well, do you know where that word comes from? It took me years to figure it out. But eventually, I learned. 400 years ago, 400, 500, I don't know exactly, the Visigoths, they were kings in Spain. And the Visigoths, they all had these big mustaches. And they had a habit of swearing. And when they swore, they would say, "Be Gott!" By God. And so these Spaniards, they saw these big guys with their mustaches swearing, and so they said, "Oh, I know what we'll call this. Bigote." Just a little thing like that. Small, unimportant, silly. But those things matter, right? When they add up and up. Finding those links. I mean, when you think about it, when you start to look at words in that way, everything's linked.
Гладиолусами не встречали, а встречали, браток, приштыка. По-немецки овчарки рычали на отечественных поводках. Конвоиров безусые лица с подозрением смотрели на нас. И кричали мальчишки нам фрицы, так что слезы вставали у глаз.
My name is Dida Arato. I'm 49 years old. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. I have Italian and Irish origins, and those origins are very important for us in the family. And I'm sure that my story is yours upside down. For you, your experience with Princeton started with happiness and joy to go to the university. Is this true, right? And for me, it starts with the FBI. The FBI, which arrests my husband. He served 3 years in the federal prison.
Yeah, if you want to know more, you can read this. Everyone who passes through here wants to know about the rich history of the place, you know, the hotel, the Nassau Eng, obviously. So we have these little things prepared in case people want to read them. You know, there's a lot to do here. There's lots of people going in and out. You know, we're always busy. Well, no, I mean, it's a college town, like any other college town. But here, you know, it's kind of special. We're outside of the Ivy League, so yeah, everyone here works really hard. Yeah, people aren't as interested in like party culture as other schools. You know what I mean? You know, people ask. It's actually funny. People ask me if they think it's fun to stay here. You know, people laugh, but you know, it's kind of true. Like the problems of like fraternities, sororities. Yeah, I mean, we have the eating clubs, but like that's the whole. I'm not even gonna try. So, you know, it's a bit of a different thing. Yeah, I mean, it's everywhere. This crazy history that we're so lucky to be a part of. You know, we're really proud of it. We have a lot of like ancient objects that, you know, remind us of the day that the university was open. We were actually open the week that the university opened, which is pretty insane. I mean, not a lot of college towns have hotels that are like that. You know, we have like old drawings of Nassau Hall, you know, old maps and stuff. You see in the, I don't know, have you ever stayed at the hotel? Yeah, so you know, you've seen the wall with all the alums, like Brooke Shields, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, so we're really proud of that here. Everyone who walks through here wants to, you know, have a conversation. I mean, I know I say this a lot, but we're really proud of the fact that, you know, there are lots of people from many different countries, you know, politicians and stuff, China, Japan, Singapore, Switzerland, Germany, France, blah, 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 blah. You get the idea. Yeah, it's pretty overwhelming. I'm from Hamilton. There aren't a lot of, like, people from all these crazy places there that, yeah, here it's overwhelming.
My name's Sam.
I was born and raised in Trenton, New Jersey. My relationship with Princeton began when I was a teenager, and I had friends who went to the Hunt School. Yeah, it's a prep school. Well, I was accepted, but I didn't go. But that's a longer story. Yeah, but my relationship with the market, it began in 1970. When I moved from the city into this farmhouse with 10 guys who were graduating from Princeton University in, I don't know, it must have been 70 or 71. Anyway, there were more than 10 people in one farmhouse. We were like a fungus. I lived in the maid's room, and other people lived in the basement, above the garage, in the chicken coop. At a certain moment, I guess I lived in the cellar with a couple other guys. Fun? I guess there were some fun times. Yeah, I guess there were some fun times. But historically, as it relates to Princeton, there are people from the SDS there. Students for Democratic Society. It was during all these things, like against the war, and we were protesting, and yeah, you know. But I also did, well actually, I lived in Eugene, Oregon for like 18 years. And I worked in a health food store there. Well, in 2 health food stores before coming back here. And I also did some agriculture, some agriculture.
Why'd you come back?
Ma famille. Ma mère.
My name is Elizabeth, but I mostly go by Liz. I was born 54 years ago in a small town of Middlesex, England. I've been living here in Princeton for the past 20 years. Here I saw my children growing up. I created a world that I'm gonna live soon. I still remember my first house. It felt huge. It's amazing green garden. It felt never-ending. I created my histories there. I flew in my fantasy in this enchanted world. With time going by, I started describing it. I started to articulate its eternal form into the comfortable pages of the book. I always wanted to become a writer. Maybe it's because of this that my parents never took me seriously. Or probably because of my crazy laugh that stopped my sentences like that. Or probably because I never wanted to be serious, to be taken seriously. In English, we have this amazing expression. People tell me this sometimes, that I had my heart, that I wear my heart on my sleeve. I find it amazing, actually. It's like if my heart couldn't be kept within my skin. It's like if it wanted to go out, you know, like escaping, exploding, because it's as if it wanted to beat for the others, like to give them the energy that I have, to give them my life, like life that couldn't stay in my skin. I need to go out. And this keeps happening, even today.
Okay, I'm ready. Hey, my name is Malachi King. I was born on the 13th of September 2006, so now I'm 12 years old. I was born in Lancaster, in Pennsylvania, and I've basically lived there my entire life. I live in a pretty big house with my dad, my mom, my two brothers, and my baby sister. She's really cute, yeah. And I have two dogs, one hamster. Oh, and that guy over there, that's my cousin. He's Amish, like all of the people here at the market, yeah. Except for my family, which I mean my dad and my mom, so my immediate family, we're not Amish. You see, my dad basically decided to stop being Amish one day, and I honestly don't really know why, but I'm sort of glad that he did, because the Amish, you know, they're not allowed to use electricity. I sort of like my PlayStation. Yeah. Outside of playing PlayStation, what do I like to do? I don't know. Dad, what do I like to do? In my free time, I guess, I listen to a lot of Christian music, Hillsong. And I like hunting and fishing and baseball, football, things like that, you know. And really like to help my dad at the market here. Yeah. My dad, he's the owner of 3 stands. The salad stand, the seafood stand, and then the stand that sells pickles and olives, you know. So we wake up at 4:30 in the morning, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays to come here. I woke up at 4:30 also. And we basically just prepare the salads and the sandwiches. And then throughout the day, we fill up everything that needs to be filled up. So today, this morning, I made deviled eggs. Yep, all alone. It's actually quite simple. Let me show you. So, you cut the egg, the hard-boiled egg. You take out the yolk. You add sugar, mayonnaise, salt, and celery. You mix it all up, so that's the garniture. You put it back in the egg, and there you go. A deviled egg. Voila. Yeah, I really like deviled eggs, but I think my favorite would be the sandwich in the new seafood store. You know, actually, I know all of the details of the business here at the market because one day I want to have my own business. So let me tell you, the stand that sells the pickles and the olives, it's amazing. It basically gets, I think, 3 times the profit as the salad stand. And then the seafood stand that's owned by someone else who's not owned by my parent, my dad, that one is not so profitable. But yeah, I want to have my very own stand one day, and that's my dream. Do I have any worries? No, I don't think so. I don't think I would necessarily have any worries. No.
You remind me of my grandkids. Rafa, particularly. Oh, he's great. Always helping out. Such a sensitive kid. Just there for you, right? And there's Bastian. The Bastion of Power. He acts like it sometimes. A little bit of a rebel, but he's good. He's good. Oh, excuse me 1 second. Sorry, gotta go open this up. Hi, what apartment are you here for?
Oh, no, I live here, but go ahead.
You live here?
Yeah, since like 1970.
Oh, I thought I knew everyone who lived around here. Well, please come in. What's your name?
Sam.
George. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, George.
You said you lived here?
Oh, yeah, forever. Yeah.
Still do?
I guess so.
Strange. Where'd you say you were from?
From around here, from around Trenton, and then, yeah, I've been all over, though. I've traveled a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Have you traveled?
Well, a little bit. When I was young, I did a lot of, here and there. I was from Cuba, went to Spain, came to the States, to New York. But, I'm older now, right? When you're older, you don't want to travel quite as much. The knee, the back, things start to act up.
You're not that old.
Well, that's nice.
I'm old.
Sometimes I feel it.
Yeah. Well, a friend and I, we went to Nepal once. Well, first we went to Hong Kong and mainland China, and then we took a bus, and then I guess another bus to Nepal. We wanted to go trekking. Trekking? The Himalayas, the mountains in Nepal. Exactly. Anyway, well, I got sick. At first it was altitude sickness, and that weakened my immune system, and that changed our trip. And we stayed around Kathmandu, which is the capital of Nepal. So like, I guess here, if we look at a map of Nepal, this town that we stayed at, Kodari, it's up here, around there, and then Kathmandu is, I think, around here. Yeah. Anyway, we stayed around there, and this year, at this time, there were all these avalanches, and there was tons of rain, so the path, the route between these two towns, it was totally washed out. So I guess in general, it was a really interesting trip with the sickness, and I was sick in Tibet too, so, well, the end of the trip kind of just went. Yeah, it was pretty sad. We were ready. You know, we had our backpacks and our pumps, our filtration pumps. We were so ready to go make our base camp and start hiking up the mountains. But we couldn't, and then, well, this was in 87, I think, 87. It's the year of the harmonic conversions. You don't know, yeah,
No.
just look it up on the internet. Yeah, you'll find it.
Hello, my name is Gemma. I live in Plainsboro, New Jersey, and I run the yoga studio here in Princeton, on Spring Street, Gratitude Yoga. I chose the name Gratitude because I wanted a name that everyone could relate to, all my clients. For me personally, yoga is something deeply spiritual that brings me closer to God. In fact, I would say God is the primary reason why I got into yoga in the first place. I met my husband in New York after I graduated from Dartmouth, and we moved to New Jersey soon after our marriage. I love it here. We had 5 children over the course of 6 years, and we had such a good time together. They're all grown up now, but I cherish the times that we had when we were all in the same house. I love my children's curiosity. It reminds me of myself when I was younger. I always felt, and I still feel to be honest, the need, the desire to push boundaries. Perhaps it is this curiosity that led me to yoga. I meditated for a long time, since I was a teenager, but it was only in 2004, 2005, a few years before I started Gratitude, that I got into yoga. I strongly believe that in life, and I tell this to my kids still every day, it is always important to have a curiosity and have desire to always try new things.
The sun will come out tomorrow.
house in Princeton, and he proposed to share a rent. And I said, okay, absolutely. That's how I found myself in Princeton. Probably a story completely different from yours, upside down. I stayed in this place for
4 years. I was paying extremely high rent. $3,000 for a month. It's really difficult to take care of my kids and then to take care of my husband after his liberation from prison. It's difficult. $3,000 per month. But I needed my son, Michael, to graduate from Princeton High School. My story is yours, upside down. You come here to Princeton to study in the university. You are here and your parents are somewhere else. For me, I am here. My son is in the university in Rome. Upside down. A story upside down. To see him going away was one of the most proud moments of my life. All the sacrifices that I did, all my pain, all my struggles, they finally valued something. Understand? I was paying $3,000 per month. It's difficult. But I was so proud to see him going. You will ask me, what gives me strength to continue? My work with my patients gives me the will to live. My patients are psychotic and suicidal. And I get my inspiration to live through their stories. There is the story of a man in front of a train, ready to make himself disappear. A story of a young girl who hears the voices. I would look at them. I would look at them and I would tell myself, Deidre, you know what? You know what? You don't struggle a bit as these people. My story is yours upside down. But this story is not unique. If you want to see the life, exit Princeton. Go to Trenton, go to New Brunswick. The life's upside down.
My mother died when I was 14. Well, she'd already died. About 2 months, actually. 3. It was 3 months. 3 months she'd already died. Yeah, I think we moved out to White House Station in 78. So I had to have been 13 going on 14. The year we moved out there. And then, by August, she died. My mom had ovarian cancer, and it was the 70s, so cancer research was horrible. And, yeah, I think she was already condemned when they diagnosed her. But they operated anyway. They really didn't need to open her up, because the cancer had already spread throughout her. I don't know. I was young. You know, you remember things differently at that age, so maybe they had a reason. Anyway, I'm Hannah. I'm 54. Maybe that's redundant if you did the math.
My name's Sophie Nam. I'm 20 years old. I'm a student, I'm a university student, and a musician from South Korea. I dreamed of becoming the principal clarinetist of the biggest orchestra in the world until I realized that I had some certain health problems that would prevent me from achieving that dream. So I took a different route. I started studying musicology more profoundly in university, and that's how I got to major in musicology and music composition. It's all different now because I used to be an artist. I loved playing in front of everyone, and I would attract all of their attention every time I played at school or at various competitions, which I would win because I was that good. That's all in the past, you know. 넌 어디에 있니? 어느새 낙엽은 바래졌는데 네가 떠나던 그날 뭉설이치게도 두렵던 그 밤 온통 내 맘에 오직 나만 미련해진 내 맘에 자꾸만 네가 내게로 돌아올 것 같아 이렇게 또 돌아오라고 해 You are my lady, you are my lady. 보고 싶어 그리워하는 You are my lady, you are my lady. 네가 있던 그 자리로 돌아와.
My father never understood me. For him, my desires, my aspirations, my loves had no importance whatsoever. They all yielded to money. Money buys power. Money buys success. Fancy cars, fancy house, fancy dinner, fancy friends. It's just a facade when you don't know what love is. And the only thing you do is creating distance in relationships. You don't know how to hug your family, how to hug your kids. Imagine my surprise when, at the age of 8, I guess, the friends told me that they loved their parents, their fathers. I don't know what this means. I thought that the only emotion you can have towards your father is being afraid of him. I had to learn how to love. When you don't know what love is, I think that it's enough to just like hear "I love you" over and over again. You think it's enough, and you fall for the first guy who tells you that. I did. waited for the day of my marriage for my entire life. I waited for it, I desired it, and when it finally came, it was already over. Yeah, marriage lasts just one day. Yeah, just one day. You know the expression people pleaser? It's the desire to make everyone happy. Working 24/7 to satisfy the people's desires. If I told you that I chose my husband to please my father, would you believe me? For the others, I'm telling you. Having your heart beating for the others and then for yourself. The heart that does not stay within your body, it wants to get out and infect the entire world. I was born with a disease called optimism. A will to power over the world, to impose my energy, to offer my crazy love to the whole mankind. I had a lot of issues because of this. The world doesn't know how to deal with an optimist. Who doesn't know how to submit herself to the boring routine of everyday life. I was born with optimism. My sister doesn't have it. You have it or you don't. But as any other disease, it risks to be contagious. I know it because I'm a carrier. I'm an healthy carrier of the virus of optimism. My friends know that. They love to come to my place and be infected. Talk about philosophy and the world that keeps rounding. The world, I start to see. I was born in England. I lived in France. I've been in Bristol for 20 years. But I don't settle. Very soon I will be elsewhere. Who said that when you're 54, life should end? I keep going. I follow my optimism.
J'avoue, j'arrive à vivre mon amour. Avant d'avoir eu vent de vous, mon amour. Ne vous déplaise pendant la javanaise. nous aimions le temps d'une chanson. La de l'amour, de vous amants, vous m'avez eu, mon amour. La vie ne vaut d'être vécue sans amour, mais c'est